I'm going to continue covering this game just because I find Code Vein to be one of the most coolest ideas out there. In the last Code Vein video, the title is possibly the best game ever. Now this is like a super clickbait title, but it's true. It's honestly what I think. So I didn't do it for the sake of, I hope people watch this and just fucking find it clickbait. If you go through my channel, you won't find a video with this kind of title. So is it possibly the best game ever? Well, yes, in my opinion, by the concept of the game, as someone here said in the comment section. And the reason it says possibly in the title is so that so many of you guys wouldn't get triggered. But I mean, so many people are sitting there just shaking in their chair anyway. By the concept, if they don't make this game shit, if it's not a Monster Hunter or God Eater clone, then, you know, it could be a good game if they focus a bit on the lore, maybe a decent story to it. If the combat is amazing, I mean, we might be getting a really good game here. One thing a lot of people are saying is that they're trying to advertise this game as if it has a real connection to Dark Souls. Not lore-wise, but the fact that it's being published by the same people that made Dark Souls, they're using that to try and grab more players' attention. It seems like they're trying to grab Dark Souls fans and pull them into this game with the hashtag prepare to dine. Like, you know, Dark Souls says prepare to die, in case you guys don't know that, because you die a million times over and over. That's just how Dark Souls is. It's a lot of trial and error. So how do I feel about that? I think it's kind of scummy unless this game is really going to turn out to be a Souls-like game. Obviously not connected with the other Souls games, but Souls-like is in the combat, the kind of patient playstyle you have to have. Then I think it's okay for them to do that. But it's being developed by the guys that worked on God Eater. And because I kind of see similarities here, just with the look of it, I guess, that's what kind of scares me. I'm hoping that the team doesn't just repeat what they're doing with God Eater and hope they can get away with it just because it's reskinned. But after this new information that I see, I have a bit more hope for this game. So I'm looking at Gematsu.com right now, and they always have these new articles on Japanese games. So they published some new stuff on Code Vein. I'm going to read over it and kind of share my thoughts with you guys. So the game is set in a world where time has passed after it was destroyed by a certain cause. Now modern society is made up of adjoining lands. I don't really think there's a reason to tell us this, like that there's different lands that come together unless it's going to play a role in the game. And as we've seen in the last video, they showed a bunch of different places, different environments. So I think this is pretty much saying you'll have different places to explore, which we kind of already know. Then again, that brings me back to, will it be instanced or will it be semi-open world, you know? Or maybe even full open world, but personally I don't think that's going to happen. Your purpose as a revenant is to survive. As you fight, you will get closer to the truth of the world. So this makes me think the game will definitely have lore and a story. Because in a Monster Hunter like game, I mean, you're not really getting closer to the truth of the world. You're not really following a story. The story's kind of there, but you don't really feel involved in the story. You're just focusing on going on these quests to just kill shit. Judging from all the screenshots that have been released, the protagonist is the short-haired man, and the red-haired man and the woman wearing the Russian hat are NPCs. They looked pretty awesome, so to have them as NPCs, and then also with that buddy system we spoke about in the last video, I'm assuming you'll be able to take these guys with you. The player character can be freely customized. Gender can also be set. A wide range of customization is possible, allowing you to make a heroic and cool-looking character. Guys, confirmed, character customization makes me so fucking happy. That was one of my worries with this game after seeing the screenshots of those two NPCs, so character customization will be in the game, thank God. The game will feature growth elements with a very high degree of freedom, allowing you to develop your character in a way that matches your playstyle. So does this mean, based on our blood veils, which is your armor, your gear, and the weapon you choose, that's how you determine your playstyle? Because that's cool, but it's not like a very in-depth system of developing your own playstyle. So does this mean allowing you to place stat points into different stats and have a Dark Souls kind of build where you can focus on faith, where you can focus on strength? Something like that would be amazing. I'm leaning more towards that than them talking about the customization with weapons, because the way they describe it. Rather than progress by clearing stages, you'll explore the world of adjoining lands on your own feet. I think this means that the game won't be instanced. So there won't be like areas that you go to after picking up a quest, clearing the mobs, clearing the boss, and then you go back to the hub and you repeat the process. I think this means it'll be something more like Dark Souls 1, And I'm sorry for the comparison with the Dark Souls game, just because it's by the same publisher. I just mean to actually compare it to how Dark Souls 1 was, where the game is kind of open world and the areas and environments that you travel to kind of change, and they pretty much are stages in themselves, but you don't need to actually choose where to go. You just travel by foot from area to area. I really enjoyed that in Dark Souls, so if it's anything like that, that makes me extremely happy. There are a large variety of fields. Each area has enemies with different characteristics, as well as area-specific mechanics. The volume should be satisfying. Okay, so we have some diversity going on here. Definitely can't go wrong with a bunch of enemies. And area-specific mechanics, so what does this mean? Does it mean that in certain areas you'll have to have certain gear because maybe it's too cold or too hot? Or will there be like platforming in certain areas? Even if your buddy character dies, you can continue exploring. You can also explore on your own without bringing along a buddy. This confirms right here that the buddy system, bringing a buddy, is not an actual player. That's the NPC that you pick up. So those other characters that they confirmed are NPCs will probably be some of the buddies you can pick up, but I'm for sure that they'll have many more NPCs or buddies to choose from out there, with different playstyles that can benefit you in combat. The concept of death does not exist. Even if you're out of action, if time passes, you can become active again. Retry again from a checkpoint. They kind of made that sound like more than it is. It just seems to me like if you die, there's a checkpoint. If there's more detail about this, then, we'll have a better idea. They're not trying to put difficulty at the forefront, but there will be challenges. So I don't think this game is going to whoop your ass like Bloodborne, but I think there will be some bosses with pretty hard mechanics that might take you quite a few tries before you can down them. Now here's some of the juicy news. So a trailer is supposed to be released on May 2nd, which should be today. While making this video, the trailer has not been released, so once it's released, I might make another video. There are screenshots though. Now these screenshots don't seem to be showing in-game footage. It doesn't seem to be a gameplay trailer. It seems to be more like a trailer focused on maybe some lore. It seems to be more of a cutscene type of trailer, but at least it's not a cartoon trailer. From what we saw in the screenshots that I posted in the last video, I believe some of those were actual gameplay screenshots. So if this trailer doesn't show actual gameplay, and this is what the cutscenes or in-game movies are going to look like, it looks very similar to the actual gameplay of the game. In today's world, that's just how most AAA titles are now. So even if this is not actual gameplay, I think we have an idea of how the actual gameplay will look, at least graphics wise. So in these screenshots, you can see right here, there's a Lost on the ground and a puddle of blood. They just got their ass whooped. This appears to be one of the mobs or bosses that we saw in the screenshot where they were fighting in an icy looking area. And right here is one of those NPCs that we just spoke about, the guy who uses the claw. And then you can see the city is kind of destroyed. Reminds me of Nier Automata, one of the best fucking games ever. So that's all I got for Code Vein today, and I hope they release this trailer today, and if they do, like I said, I'll try to post a video on it, maybe a reaction video or just discussing the game or discussing what we see in the trailer. So let me know what you guys think about Code Vein, and I'll catch you down in the comment section and in the next video. See you soon, friends.